Welcome to NomadMedia Automotive Tales, where we tell vehicle stories, a little bit of history, and some unique and personal experiences. Let's get right into it. Welcome back to another episode, and today we have Trent, better known as Alex Kane, also known as Uncut, from the Immortal Riders with his 1985 Chevy Monte Carlo SS. Man, I know I don't have your full intro down, but it's so known by everybody that watches you. It's like, how about you tell us how it's done?
It's Trent, better known as Alex Kane, also known as Uncut. Either way you want to put it, I am what I am, but what I'm not, I never try to be.
Man, and that's so good. It's on every single one of your videos,
All
if
of
I'm
them.
not mistaken.
All of them.
I'm sure people are gonna recognize you and know what it is, straight off the rip from that.
Right.
You know, thanks for sitting down with me, man.
Oh, yeah.
I love that you're gonna talk to me about your car here and taking the time with me. Let's get right into this. Tell us some of the stories and what makes this car yours and special to you, man.
Well, to start, I had found one of these cars on Facebook, and it was in Anniston, Alabama. And I tried to get that car for a whole week, and I never could acquire the car for some strange reason. It got to the point to where I had a 2005 GMC Envoy. I had got the trailer, I was finna go all the way to Anniston and tow the car back, but my Jeep slung a rod. And I still didn't get the car, man. $2,500, it didn't have a motor transmission in it, man. I was so disappointed and upset, but about a month later, this car right here came along. It was a little bit more money, but it was a complete car. The engine was running, transmission, and I went on ahead and got the car.
I don't know what the other car looked like, but I know looking at this one now, I'm like, it couldn't have been much better than this, I would assume. Like, this thing looks straight as an arrow for a good driver car.
Oh, yeah. I mean, both cars look good. The other car, it wasn't as complete with the interior or whatever, but I have had paint done to this car, interior work done, little modifications here and there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we get them and we work on them, try to make them look like what we want them to look like.
Exactly. Yeah, and this one's moving towards where you want it to look like. I know you were mentioning some stuff about the paint, how it's like some of the other cars you've seen. Like this one right here is your style, where it's the dark on white and everything. And it's, it's a beautiful car, man.
Yeah, I like gray. Grays and silvers are like some of my favorite colors. Our car club color is black and silver,
Mm-hmm.
and so I kind of wanted to play along them lines.
And definitely, y'all check him out. Like, I'm gonna link anything that I can in the description to, show off your car club and promote it, man.
Right. Oh yeah, man. I call it Macy Gray. I also have another car called Grady May, but that's another story.
Hey, for another time, you're gonna have to expect another episode at some point.
Oh yeah. Hopefully I get the Impala situated before by spring next year, so we will be there.
You dropping those little
Oh,
breadcrumbs
man,
there, man. You dropping those breadcrumbs,
Oh yeah, get used to me. Get used to me. I will be back.
Oh yeah, definitely. Man, what makes this car special to you? Like what are your plans for it? Like, what do you want to do with it, man?
Man, what really makes it special is the adversity that I went through to get one of these cars. I always been a G-body fan.
Mm-hmm.
I got a Regal. I always like Cutlasses, Monte Carlos, El Caminos.
Mm-hmm.
Not too fond of the Grand Prix, but any G-body platform along those lines, I'm all for them. But the adversity that I went through to actually get one of these cars, and to get it in my hands, it's like a unicorn, catching a unicorn, or catching Tinkerbell. Man, I heard about you, but I didn't believe you existed, and now I got you in my hands. You belong to me.
And I know that you're taking really good care of this car too, man.
Oh,
You were telling me some of the work you've done on it. You wanna get into some of that?
Well, it was a perfect car, but I let somebody start doing some body work on it, and they kind of messed me around. So I said, before I pay somebody to mess up a car, I'll take a chance to learn how to do something myself
Yeah.
and save myself a couple of dollars at the same time of learning the trade and getting the confidence to work on these cars. But yeah, man, a guy had messed up my rear quarter. I had to cut the rear quarter out, re-weld the brand new panel in, get the body line as straight as I could with my expertise, which is below beginner. But you know, I mean,
Well, like I mentioned at the beginning, man, like you've got a really good driver quality car
right,
here. I
right.
mean, I don't know where you look at it. It's definitely a show car in
Oh
my book,
yeah,
but driver quality, you know, but it looks really good. I think when I saw your videos on that,
right,
because I think some of this is documented on your YouTube
right.
channel.
Yeah, I got all of it documented on my channel.
Be sure to check it out right down there. But I know when I was watching it, I'm pretty sure that I messaged you asking you questions on that because I was like, hey, how do you do this? How do you
Right,
do
right,
that? And you're
right.
like, I have no idea.
I didn't. I didn't.
Like,
I mean, I did a welding program once upon a time, but it was just a couple of weeks.
Mhm.
I was more timid of the welding. The stick had stuck to the metal,
Yeah.
and it freaked me out, man. I thought it was gonna burn up, and so I never welded again until I had to run into this situation right here.
Mhm.
But now I have a welding machine. I got the confidence to get out here and weld. But man, I want to do the LS swap.
Yeah.
I want to do an LS swap to it.
How far off we on that? How much pushing and prodding do I got to do to push you towards it?
I got to get this Impala situated. I got to get this
Okay.
Impala situated.
That's trouble having more than one car, which I
Yeah.
fully understand.
I took her on her farthest trip. I had this car probably 3 years, and the farthest I took it was to Ashland. Like I said, I never did no engine work to this car for the most part. The engine that's in it, it's always been in it since I had it. It could use some work. It's not a, it's not quality, it's in there.
It's not 100%
Right,
sorted.
right.
Okay.
But I drove it to Ashland. She didn't smoke. She didn't backfire. She didn't skip. She didn't get thirsty. Man, it was the best cruise I have ever had in this car, and I would drive this car like it is anywhere. I'm talking about she cruise ready.
I love
She
to
is
hear
cruise
that.
ready.
And I think you, as someone in the car community too, you're probably not as nervous as the average person
Right.
doing this. Like I know that we talked about it a little bit last night, where it was like, yeah, I was just riding around in my old truck,
Yeah.
you know. It's like, well, fuel pump went out, just kind of decided to do it, like, you know. But
Oh yeah.
it's one of those things. It is what it is.
You don't find out till you find out. Like, man, I was on the back road going to Ashland. I don't know if you're familiar with Ashland, but I mean, there's no highway to get you there. It's pretty much all country back roads. If I would have broke down on one of them roads, that would have been the time to find out for real. But it would have really pushed me to, man, like, go ahead and do the engine swap on it. But I got the engine to put in it whenever I get ready to do it. I got the wiring harness. But
Oh, you already have the engine.
yeah, I already got the engine
Oh,
built.
wow.
Yeah, it's ready to go.
All right, so wait a minute. How much pushing and prodding do I have to do to get this away?
Man,
Do I have to come down here and give you a weekend where it's like, all right, we got this?
Man, you know how it be when you a car hoarder and too many irons in the fire. You work a full-time job. You're a full-time parent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, it's just.
Bring a kid out with you. Be like, all right, here's your first wrench. Here's your first wrench.
Oh, yeah.
Let's work on this old car.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, if it was full-time, it wouldn't be a thing. But I get around to it. I lock myself in. I will do that.
Hopefully you don't mind me asking this, but if you do, obviously I'll edit this out.
What you
But
got?
it's like, what your kids think about it? What do they like about Daddy's cars?
My son, my oldest son, man, he into gaming. I mean, I have questioned him about. They really not into it like that, and I try not to push it on them because I know later on I wasn't always into wanting to work on cars, but my oldest brother is my inspiration. Man, me and him done built some cars, but I don't want it to be like, man, my dad, he forced this on me and now I don't want to do it. I want it to be a point in time, maybe he'll come back and look at life and be like, man, I remember my dad used to, and maybe we'll share an experience, but
When
I
you
mean,
turn 16, it'll change.
maybe
Because then it's
maybe
gonna be
so.
like, I need a cool car.
Yeah,
dude.
you need a car, you know. Hey, I got that one in the bushes over there. You can bring it back to life and make it what you want it. Or maybe, you know, we'll build a car and be like, man, here go the keys to it, and you know, he'll cherish it, and respect the art of putting these cars together and the memories that you share. Cause like I said, man, my oldest brother, man, he is my man. We got so many memories. We worked on this car. We worked on his car. We got some cars to work on. I mean, there's a lot of memories involved. And man, like a lot of friends of mine, you know, they always like want to send their car to the shop, which I can't knock, you know, but
Yeah.
man, it's nothing like having an old car and putting your hands on it and bringing it back to life. You know, man, I mean, I can look at this car, man, and be like, you know, I did that. Or, man, me and my brother, man, they didn't want to do this, and I went to him, and he showed me how to do this. Man, that's priceless, man. I mean, even if I sell this car or whatever, you know, which
Do you
is,
really think you're gonna sell this car?
nah, I
ever?
doubt it. I
Okay.
doubt it. But, you know, even through that, you know, the memories are the most important part of it all, you know.
Yeah.
You may see a car, man. Man, we did a 65 Impala, and man, a guy came up from New Orleans and bought that car, but now when we see a 65 Impala, be like, man, you remember that white 65 we built? You know, man, yeah, man, I remember we did this to it, but I mean, you get all the money you want out of them, but the memories and the times you can come back and talk about it is priceless. And, you know, someday I hope to look back at with my son and be like, man, you know, man, we built that old car, you know, or, you know, I don't know what the car scene will be like 15 years from now, but I hope it's the time that we can share and build a car together, you know, because, I mean, it's awesome, man.
Yeah,
It
and
is
that's
awesome.
that's a good message right there, in
Oh,
my
yeah.
opinion. I'm like, you know, if you can build something with someone,
Right.
it's like, especially someone that means something
Right,
to you.
right, right,
You know,
right,
it's
right.
like son,
Yeah.
daughter, you know, brother, mom,
Right.
dad,
Oh, yeah.
whatever. You know, it's like that's part of like it. I don't know many other hobbies you really get that out of. I'm sure there are that I'm forgetting, but
Right.
I'm also this crazy car guy.
Man,
It's like if it has cars, that's the way to go. Like
you sticking it to your lane, man, you know.
Yep.
But like I said, man, me and my dad, you know, he had a 69 pickup truck. Probably my most favorite vehicle I ever driven, owned, or said was mine or had. But man, like, you know,
That where it started for you.
yeah, that's pretty much where it started, man. That car, that truck, the shocks was bad on it. I put it in drive too, and I packed the gas. The whole front end come off, bah, bah. But you know, I was young, man. I didn't appreciate nothing. But had I had the knowledge that I have now, I would have appreciated the vehicle more and took the time to fix the stuff that I needed fixing on it. You know, but we be young, we grow, we live, and we learn. And I mean, that's part of it too. You know,
Yeah.
making memories with these cars also at the same time.
So that I totally agree, man. I love that message. With this car though,
Right.
this car in particular. So
Okay.
I know you want to do an LS swap on
Right.
it, and you were mentioning to me when I pull up here, it's like, you know, when you get an old car, doesn't matter how sorted and how well off it is and how done it is,
Yep.
there's always something to be
yeah.
tinkering with.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I mentioned, it's like my car. Everybody out here knows my car at this point. They get mentioned about every episode at this point. It's like the Charger is a nice car.
Right.
You know, but I tell people all the time, I'm like, there's stuff it needs. Like, it might not be something that's
yeah.
readily apparent to you, but once you're an owner and this is
yeah.
what you do, you start noticing
Right.
all the little things. And like, so what's next on your list for this car? Like, what is that? Maybe not the big ticket item like the engine, but what's the next little tinker job you want?
I mean, as of lately, I think suspension is very important. Suspension is very important dealing with these older cars, because like this car is 30 plus years old. Your Charger, what, 69?
It's a 70, it's 53 years
So,
old.
you know, I mean, suspension is very important. That's probably the next step that I would go to, probably before I even do the engine swap, because, you know, you can go fast as you want to, but if it's not steering right or you're not stopping, you're defeating the purpose at the end of the day.
me and you are kind of on the same wavelength.
Yeah,
that one.
man.
Like, the same thought process.
I think suspension probably gonna be my next route before I even do the engine swap. That's probably my next step. I probably do tubulars, uppers and lower control arms, tie-in rods, go through the works on it, the whole front end suspension kit.
I'm sure you'll be putting this on your channel or at least taking pictures of it. And I know whenever I come back, because I know I'm gonna come back, I want to talk to you about this car again once it gets further down the road, and I want some of these pictures.
Man, my wife, she's sort of coming around. It may be her car, because I got a couple of them to drive. You know, it'd be nice to have her driving behind, you know.
Yeah.
If I could get her in this car right here,
y'all can all ride out to
we'll
the
ride
cruise
together, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the plan. She may want to change the color on it, but you know, we'll see on that.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, you have a monthly cruise in, right?
Yes, we do.
Let's go on and plug that in here so people can.
We do fourth Saturday cruise in. We set up right between Arby's and Wendy's.
And this is in the Alexander City Walmart parking lot?
In that little area.
Shopping center area.
2593 US Highway 280, Alexander City, Alabama. That's the address to Arby's, but we use the whole little area right there between Arby's and Wendy's.
And if you can make it, come on out and see some of their cars. I know they got some really interesting stuff a lot of the time. Like maybe you'll catch me there when you come.
Man, we have one week we had everything out there from a 1949 Ford up to a box Chevy on 28-inch wheels. I mean, you get a variety, man. Camaro, F-body Camaros with LS swaps.
There's some fun custom stuff out there in Alexander City, you know, like, and I know that you're not closed off to any different make, model, or style. Come on out, check them out. Like, there's some cool cars.
Yeah, it can be a car rusted out in the woods, man, and I get a thrill off of it, man. I mean, it don't have to be painted. When you just, man, I get a thrill off of it, man. I swear I love it. To be honest, rat rods, street rods, pro touring, classics, antiques.
Motorcycles?
I like the art side of motor. I never driven a motorcycle. I don't know how. But I love the art side of it. Motorcycles, yes. The one with the big wheels in the front.
Yep.
Baggers, street rod motorcycles, rat rod man.
Custom is custom, too.
Man, yeah, man. You know, I love it all, man. I don't care if it's big wheels, it can be 20. Now, I will say this right here. I don't mean to be disrespectful to anybody, but it is a point and a limit to where it just don't make sense, you know. No disrespect to nobody, but
I'll push back on you on that one. It's not whether or not it makes sense. It's whether or not is it possible.
if you have to cut your fenders to fit your car, I don't.
Depends on the cars with me on that one there, because I do have some issues with certain cars getting cut up.
Yeah.
But I sit on the side of where I'm like, it may not make sense to me, but I'm like, is it possible? Yeah. That's a very intriguing question.
Yeah. But back to this car, I would never cut my fenders to make no wheels fit. I would cut my frame. I would do a frame notch.
Okay.
But as far as cutting my fenders to make a wheel fit, nah, I don't. I don't want to cut my body of my car up. I don't want to cut the frame, but you know.
Frame's replaceable.
Yeah, it's replaceable.
Or it's easier. I don't know. Is it? I think a frame would be easier to replace than the body sometimes. Like, because getting the body straight in a lot of cases is a lot harder than like, okay, just take the body off, put it on a new frame.
Right. And have you seen the ZL1 they did with they did a ZL1 Camaro?
Haven't.
Frame swap?
Haven't.
Well, that's conversation we'll hold.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Definitely. Well, man, tell me about this side pipe right here. Where does that come from? What made you want that instead of out the back?
Well, when I first got the car, it had the square exhaust pipe on it.
Yeah.
And they were still running out the side. And my oldest brother, man, he hate that side pipe. And I took it to the muffler shop, But the guy said it was, you know, a nice muffler to have, and the thing is, it's chambered on the same side, and I just really never got around to changing the muffler, but I did change the tip out, because it had the square tip,
Yeah, now you have a round one.
but now I got the round one on it. But I mean, it wasn't my idea, but the round tip is more of my design. But yeah, we'll get it off of there one day, someday, but right now we're gonna let her rock the way she rocking.
Hey, if it works, no reason to change it, right?
Yeah.
But to mention to anyone out there maybe wondering what he means by chambered on the same side. So a muffler, generally you have your inlet on one side and the outlet on the other. So it comes in and then goes out.
Right.
When he says they're on the same side, basically it's going in and then it's coming out another port on the same side.
Right.
So it makes it a little hard to wrap a pipe back around.
Right.
To do pipes like that. That's what he's getting at there. But man, how about we get to hearing this thing run with that side pipe?
We'll sure do it.
Let's get into it. And there you have it. That's Trent with his 1985 Chevy Monte Carlo SS. Man, thanks for coming out and talking to me.
sir.
Like, you know, ever since I met you, it's like it's always been fun to like hang out, talk with you and stuff.
appreciate
Like
that.
I don't know if you treat it the same way as me, since we don't know each other all that well, even though we talk like we probably do.
Right.
But it's like it's just car guy stuff there, you know.
Right.
And I didn't even think about it during the interview. It's like I think I went to your first show, the breast cancer car
Correct.
show, and I won 2 trophies at
Yep,
your show.
yep.
And I don't know, I know I've mentioned it to people. I'm like, that was my first car show in that Charger down here. Now, down here, as in Central Alabama, Alexander City, that was my first car show I took that car to. And I won 2 trophies at it through you. I had Best Mopar and Best Daily Driver. And as long as you don't mind, I'll actually show the trophies here, you know.
Right.
So it's like, y'all come on out to his events. They're a lot of fun, you know. I'm assuming you're still doing the breast cancer awareness one?
I don't know if it'll be, I don't think the show will be aired by the time we do the breast cancer car show, because we do that the 14th of October.
We do it annually though.
Yes, every year.
Well, I'm saying this as in, keep an eye on it, you know, your links and things will be down in the description, so
Gotcha.
people will be able to get in touch with you
Right on.
if they're interested to get information on
Right
it. That
on.
way they can participate with you.
Right.
And obviously, you know, your monthly cruise in.
Yeah,
Try to get some
every
people
month
to
we
that.
do the fourth Saturday. Fourth Saturday, we usually start up between about 4 o'clock, and we run till it start to get dark.
Yeah, and back on the car here, I love the fact that it's like, you know, you mentioned, we talked about your fender over here. It's like you did that because you were like, hey, if I'm going to pay someone to do it, let me try first.
Right,
you know,
right.
just get out there and try something.
yeah.
I really love that you did that
Right.
on this car. Like anything really in life that matters like that, if you're going to pay someone to fix it, like why don't you go on and really mess it up?
Especially if it's already messed up.
Yeah, let's go on and really mess it up, but with the potential to make it better.
Right. Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like let's go on and do that. Like that's an awesome message.
Yeah.
But with that, is there anything you would like to say to anyone that may be watching?
Pretty much, don't be afraid to get out here and work on your cars, man. Especially if it's already messed up. Ain't too much more damage you can do to it. Man, stick to your passion, stick to your love. Don't let these old cars go to their final resting places.
There's a there's a little bit of an inside thing there. I'll try to get a picture of that and post it. You know?
But yeah, yeah, man, stick with the passion. Man, find these old cars if you can, bring them back to life. Don't let them die out. Keep the drive going with the younger generation. Man, and let's just make it happen, man. Burn some rubber, burn some gas, turn some wrenches, knock some skin off your knuckles, put the torque wrenches down, get the man, I mean, but for real, have fun with it. Man, let's keep the community going. No matter your city, no matter your state, we all from the same community at the end of the day. Let's work together. Let's not bash each other rides. I mean, if it's not your cup of tea, just don't drink it. Simple as that. Find your cup of tea and you pull up. But, you know, don't bash everybody rides, to each its own. Like I said, man, get out there and work on something. Let's bust up some knuckles. But this your boy, Trent, better known as Alex Kane, also known as Uncut. Either way you want to put it, I am what I am, and what I'm not, I never try to be. And this is your girl, Macy Gray.
And with that, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Peace.
I'll see you at the next car show, okay?
All right, there you have it, guys. Be sure you like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.